Cool. I think we're live. Hi, everyone. Um, just give it like maybe like a minute or so, just so that more people can join. But here, I'm Freddie. I'm the team lead at Gradio. And here's Yuvi. If you'd like to introduce yourself, Yuvi.
Hey everyone, this is Uvi. I'm a development lead at Radio, and I'm really excited to be here. Let's go.
Yeah. And we're joined here by Connor from Anthropic. Connor, if you want to introduce
Hi
yourself really
everyone.
briefly.
Hi everyone. I'm Connor. I'm the product marketing manager for MCP. Really excited to see what people are going to build over the next 2 weeks.
Awesome. Cool. Let's just give it just a minute, just so that more people can join, and then we'll get started. Sweet. All right, everyone. Let's get started. So this is the MCP First Birthday Hackathon event. Like Yuvi and Connor mentioned, it's going to be a 2-week hackathon focused on MCP and building with MCP. This hackathon is put together by a great crew of sponsors as well. So we have Connor from Anthropic, the creator of MCP. They're co-sponsoring this with us, and they're co-hosting this with us, and we have a great slate of sponsors ranging from Hugging Face, Gemini, OpenAI, Modal, Nebius, 11 Labs, Llama Index, Samanova, and Blacksoul. There's a lot of cash up for grabs. You have $21,000 in cash prizes and millions of dollars in sponsor credits. So it's like super excited to see, and should be plenty enough resources for you to get started and build something really, really cool with MCP. Connor, I hand it over to you. Let me bring your screen up.
Yeah. Hi guys. Let me just share my screen real quick. So can
wait. Let me. I'm adding it to the stage.
Yeah, sounds good.
Oh, I need to remove mine. There you go.
Great. Hi everyone. So I assume everyone's familiar with MCP. It's a universal interface that standardizes how AI apps and agents interact with tools and data and so on. It solves the M times N integration problem that I'm sure everyone's familiar with, so I won't spend too long talking about it. Basically, what I wanted to say at a high level is MCP includes tools, resources, and prompts. Most people use it to integrate tools, but there are other things in the spec you can utilize to, have a more sort of beefed out and impressive server. So outside of tools, which is just your typical sort of API calls, you can use resources, which is like ways to share data to agents or LLMs, like files, database records, those kind of things. And then we also have prompts inside of servers as well. So these are sort of predefined prompt templates that you can issue to an agent on demand. The reason I'm highlighting this is, it's an MCP hackathon. If you've built a bunch of tools in your MCP server and you think you can go further, I think there is probably good opportunities to look at resources and prompts and see how you can sort of bake that in. On the tracks side of things, like what we're looking for on the MCP track is servers being built in the creatives industry, the consumer sector, and enterprises. So just to double click on what that means, for creatives, like we're looking for someone to build something that will help artists, filmmakers, anyone doing creative work to just do more, be more productive, and expand their creative scope. 2 examples of this is like the Blender MCP and the Unity MCP. So like the Blender MCP helps people create sort of 3D rendered images and 3D printed objects and so on. And then Unity is around like gaming and so on. So a lot of scope there to be creative in the creative space. Consumers, we're looking for something that will solve just like an everyday pain point that people feel. Stuff like agent mail, super memory. These are MCP servers that can really, enhance people's everyday productivity. And then on the enterprise side, what we're really looking for is something that can help enterprises be more connected and adopt AI. So stuff like Toolbox for databases or Taskmaster and so on. Prizes are going to be awarded to the best overall MCP server across these 3 tracks, and then the best one in each track. So yeah, that's sort of just high level what we're looking for, and excited to see what people build.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Connor. Let me bring my screen back up, and I'll hand it over to Yuvi to talk a little bit more about the hackathon in detail and like the logistics around the hackathon.
Hey, thanks, Freddie. Yeah, so we organizing this hackathon, which we have named as MCP First Birthday. And before this, we organized a hackathon in June, and we had a great success. I think we got around 4,000 registrations, and then more than 600 apps were submitted in it. So in this edition, we are focusing on MCP primarily, and so far we already have 6,000 registrations. And I think this is shaping up to be the biggest MCP developer event of the year. And this time around, we have Anthropic as co-host, like Freddie already shared, and we have other incredible sponsors with us who have generously shared credits with us. Freddie, can you move to the next slide, please?
Of course.
Yeah, so like Connor just mentioned, there are 3 categories, but broadly there are 2 clear tracks. So one is building MCP, in which you are expected to build MCP servers, and then in the second track is called MCP in action. So basically, we are looking for agentic apps which are built with Gradio. So, like the first track, similar to the first track, we have 3 subcategories, which are consumer, and creative and companies. And I can give you one example of each. Like for example, for creative, you can build a game, which we had an entry like that last time, which eventually won. And then for consumer, you can think of something multimodal, or using speech, or images, or video, because we are providing all these credits with inference providers. And then we also have 11 labs with us. And then in companies, you can go for apps which are productive in nature, or they are workflow driven and something like that. So we are primarily trying to focus on or highlight or showcase the Gradio 6 that we are releasing, and I suppose Freddie will be talking about that in a bit. And we have incredible MCP features in Gradio, so you might already be aware that every Gradio app is an MCP server in itself. We will be talking about that more. And so this hackathon, it's for 17 days. It gives you plenty of time, 3 weekends, and the prices are amazing. We have 21,000 in cash, and then more than 3.5 million in API credits are already distributed, and we will be, doing more. So the registration is not closing. If you are having that doubt, registrations are still open. Don't feel left out, and just join in. Thousands of devs have already joined. We have amazing sponsors and a great judging team. So yeah, Freddie, if you can move to the next one, please. Yeah, most of these things I've already covered. I'll just name the sponsors, amazing sponsor that we have. We have Model with us, then we have Llama Index, we have Blackcell, we have Gemini, we have 11 Labs, we have OpenAI, and of course we have with us Anthropic, which is a co-host. Along with cash prizes, there are some amazing things you can win, like AirPods, credits, or pro subscriptions for years, and much more. So yeah, I'll hand it over again to Freddie if he wants to talk about Gradio and other tech stuff. Thanks, Freddie.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so like Yuvi mentioned, Gradio is co-hosting this hackathon, and part of the reason that we're super excited to partner with all of you, with all the sponsors, and to put this on for the community, is because Gradio is a great framework for building for both humans and machines. So it's a batteries included web framework with like a very high level, simple to use Python API that lets you take your idea and, you know, basically with the same code, serve it to LLMs, machines, or users. So I just want to give you guys a quick demo, a very simple demo to show you like the kind of things that you can build with MCP and Gradio. So, you know, we've all heard of like the famous like strawberry benchmark. So counting how many R's are in the word strawberry, and, you know, historically some LLMs, you know, get that very hilariously wrong, right? So how can you solve that very challenging problem? Well, you can write a Gradio app in Python. So that's what I'm doing here on this left-hand side. So we define a very simple letter counter function, takes a word, counts the number of letters in it. We write a descriptive doc string so that the LLM knows how to call this function. And then we just wrap it in a Gradio interface, which will automatically turn this into a UI that we can serve to anyone. And then if we do include MCP server equals true, it becomes an MCP server right out of the box. You don't have to think about anything. So here we have on the right-hand side, I'm just running that app like a simple Python script. We get a URL that we can host, we can share with anyone. We could, host this anywhere you want. And you also get an MCP server. So this is an example of the UI. So, you know, all your human users are going to be very delighted that they're going to be able to count all the letters in any word they want with this very simple, intuitive interface. But then also very, you know, it's an MCP server you can plug in to any sort of MCP compliant client. So here I'm just using the MCP inspector, and we can show that, you know, I basically copy the URL from the Gradio app, and then I give it to the client in this case. That's what I'm doing now. And then, you know, you can see all the tools that are exposed, and then you can, you know, the agent can call them. So LLMs will never again get wrong how many R's are in the word strawberry. So part of this hackathon, we're really excited to give you guys a sneak peek of Gradio 6, which was released today in pre-release, and we'll do the official release during the hackathon so you can play with it. It comes with great MCP features that we'll go over shortly. But yeah, some of the key improvements for Gradio 6 are that it's faster. So it's built on the highly performant Svelte 5. So the pages will load faster, all the updates will be faster. And we've also made a lot of improvements to the backend as well, so that both MCP and the UI. Wait, was I muted that whole time? Okay, I think I'll go back a little bit. Sorry, I don't know what happened. I don't know where I went blank. Sorry, I don't know what happened. So for Gradio 6, so it's faster, so it's built on the highly performant Svelte 5. We're also making the backend a lot faster as well. So MCP requests will process a lot faster, and the page will be a lot faster as well. Sorry, I'm freaking out. I think my mic cut out. Gradio is going to be a lot more customizable. So you'll be able to build custom components very easily with an LLM, or just, you know, you can code it yourself, and you can greatly customize these apps and have them also be available as MCP. Okay, so one of the things that we're working on one of the cool things that we're releasing in Gradio 6 is the ability to serve ChatGPT apps directly through Gradio. So here we have the same example of the strawberry letter counter. And then let me just play that video again for you. So if you add it to ChatGPT, you'll be able to get an app automatically. So you'll see here that it's able to correctly count the R's in the word strawberry, and it gives you like a cool UI, like a cool image to show them. So yeah, so we're super excited for you guys to start building with Gradio 6. Let me go back over here, present this. Yeah, so you can get started now by pip installing Gradio 6 6.0.4. And then we'll do the full release probably next week. Awesome. So sorry for all those technical difficulties. Let me bring Merve up on the stage, and she can talk a little bit about Hugging Face and how you can use Hugging Face during this hackathon. Hi, Merve.
Hello. Thanks a lot. I thought I was going to share my screen. I don't know if I made any changes, but let's go, I guess.
Yeah. If you share your screen, I can bring it on the stage. Let me take this off.
Give me a second.
Yeah.
It's this one. Yes. Amazing. Present.
No, let me. I need to find it. Here we go. Cool.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much for inviting me. Hello, I'm Merve, and I work for open source team at Hugging Face, and I will briefly talk about all the pro and inference providers benefits that you're going to get in this hackathon that you can put it to use. So first off, why you should be opting for open source models in this hackathon is, so basically when you go to a repository and you see this, it means the model is open source and you can use it for commercial purposes, you can fine tune it, and then you can use with MCPs or whatever you want to build. And why does it matter? It's because firstly, absolute control over models. If you want to do batch inference, in this case, you will not, but cost reduction, it's guaranteed privacy if you want to deploy. And Hugging Face Hub, like if you want to get to build with open source models, Hugging Face Hub is the place to go. It's there is, as of now, more than 2.1 million models of all libraries and tasks, a lot of data sets, apps, which you can also consume as MCPs, by the way, and a lot of open source libraries. And as you can see, it's not only LLMs, but other tasks as well, which you can consume as, for instance, image generation and stuff, you can consume as MCPs in your applications. So coming to inference providers, it's a solution where you can just choose any inference provider through the same interface, using only, for instance, you have Hugging Face Pro and you have Hugging Face inference providers credits. You can automatically pick, for instance, you have a model you want to infer with, you can automatically pick the inference provider, and it will consume your Hugging Face credits, and you don't have to define API keys for every single provider. So it's very useful. And there is, as of now, 50K plus models and growing. And for instance, when you go to a model repository on the right, you will see a widget. And that widget, as you can see, for instance, this is using Novita. This is a QN 2.5 VL. It uses Novita. You can do inference with vision language models, LLMs, image generation models, and more. This is an example, but you can also consume it through programmatic access. And it's also coming to your favorite IDEs. Currently, it's in VS Code. You can use many open source models through inference providers. And I'm sure all of you know Spaces, but in case you have missed, which is very unlikely, it's the sort of app store of ML. And so many spaces are running on zero GPU, which is basically shared H200s. And when you have Pro, which I'm coming to right now, as a benefit, first off, you can host up to 10 zero GPU spaces, and you get way more quota. So basically, when you infer with a 0 GPU space, you have a quota, but when you have Pro, you have way more quota. And same with inference providers, again, you have more quota. And there's something called dev mode, which is basically about having an SSH tunnel to a space to develop inside that hardware. So it's if it's H200, shared H200 0 GPU, you can do your development over there to develop your app. Not only that, but it has more benefits. For instance, dataset viewer isn't enabled normally for private repositories, and you also get more private storage. And as far as I know, you would get 6 months of Pro with this event, free trial. And also you can have access to very cool apps, unlimited, like DeepSight, for instance. Normally with DeepSight, you have up to 3 projects, but with Pro, you have more. And also one last announcement is that we recently enabled, we recently brought back Hugging Chat, and we have enabled MCPs in Hugging Chat, which makes it super all-powered, AI-powered chat. You can consume many spaces, many models. For instance, in here, I just ask to Hugging Chat, which is, can you bring me top 3 models that was released in the last 6 months, which is very hard to filter, but Hugging Face MCP makes it easier. That was released in last 6 months, and that was good. So it brought some models, and then I take one model and ask Hugging Chat to generate image with that model. So you can literally do anything. And this is my last announcement, I think. I hope I wrapped up in 5 minutes.
Awesome. Great. Thank you so much, Merve.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, of course. Let me bring Corey up on the stage now. Cool. Let me share my screen again. Cool. So this is Corey from OpenAI. Please take it away, Corey.
Hey, everyone. Excited to chat with everybody today. I'm Corey, developer experience engineer here at OpenAI, and really excited to talk about what you can build today with MCP. I'm not sure if my slides are coming up. This is just a brief intro of myself, but I'm a huge fan of hackathons and all things developer ecosystem, so excited to talk today. We can move on. Yeah, and I'm sure most folks are familiar with OpenAI, but just wanted to reiterate our mission, which is to ensure that artificial general intelligence benefits all of humanity. So, traditionally, tapping into the power of AI was limited to research labs and really expensive, cost to access it. So all the work that everybody's doing here is really awesome. But let's just jump into it. Like, the 2 things we'd love people to build are either a ChatGPT app or build an agent with MCP. Both of these options will be duplicative and beneficial for the main hackathon categories, as you can see. But roughly speaking, a ChatGPT app comprises of a few different things. You have your MCP server, where you can register different tools that are then able to be called within ChatGPT. And there was also a presentation layer where you can build a widget that makes the experience even more interactive. Freddie showed a demo of that earlier, and I'll have a few slides to show a little more about that. But that's a really interesting, I think, addition to the industry, and I know other folks are working on this, but bringing the UI layer on top of MCP is an interesting new frontier within that space. And then lastly as well, one more thing on this is both our responses API and our real-time API and also our agents SDK are compatible with MCP. So we encourage you to build something there as well.
Sweet.
Yeah, this is just a very directional example of kind of what the experience could look like. You're talking within ChatGPT, and it opens up a modal, and you can be able to continue your conversation. It engages your tool, and you kind of go forth from there. So yeah, use it as inspiration for some of the things that you can build. And these are just a couple of screenshots, how it looks on web and how you can enable it. So after you're able to build your application, you, for development purposes, would activate it in developer mode, and you can sideload it. But once you go to chat, you can hit the plus button and you can see your app. In this case, the example I'm showing is Zillow, and it's actually utilizing full screen mode, which is really interesting to create a more enriched experience for how you want users potentially to, have more information and then be able to do something very interactive. Yeah, and so in addition to submitting your apps through the main hackathon, we'd love to be able to engage with you at communityopenai.com, where we have a forum dedicated to ChatGPT apps, where you can get feedback, have other folks in the community be able to kind of see what you're doing, give thoughts, and also share any product feedback if you have.
Sweet.
Yeah, moving over to the other half for building agents or any type of AI applications. Just two core APIs or the responses API. Those are great for any type of applications that need, reasoning, and you want to work with an MCP server to bring in more context and things of that nature in a kind of a unified way. And then the real-time API is really great for voice assistants and things that you need that kind of live back and forth. And both of those are compatible with MCP, and we're providing credits for everybody to be able to get building.
Sweet.
Yeah, and just to summarize some of the, sponsor category prizes that we have, sorry that image didn't render that great, is $25 in API credits for everybody. We've sent out a form, and I believe Freddie said it's in the Discord, and I've seen a good number of folks have filled that out, so we'll make sure to apply that right after this. And then there are two categories, in addition to the main hackathon categories, where you can win a subscription to ChatGPT Pro and some more API credits. And then also for the best API integration, there's a lot more credits for you to continue building.
Sweet. Very exciting. Thanks so much, Corey.
Thank you.
Let me bring on Paige. She could talk about Gemini. Do you have slides that you want to share, Paige?
Yeah, and thank you all so much for having us. I just shared my screen really quickly.
Yep.
I do not have slides as I am not very good at creating them, but I do have at least a couple of demos and a couple of pointers for how people can get started with the Gemini APIs and AI Studio and MCP servers. Greetings, everyone. My name is Paige. I work on our DeepMind team, specifically on something that we have called AI Studio and the Gemini APIs, as well as our open model family. If you've never seen AI Studio before, it's really kind of the best place to go to get access to DeepMind's models as soon as they're released. You can access it at ai.dev or ai.studio or aistudio.google.com. You can select different models off to the right. So things like Nano Banana, Gemini 2.5 Pro, our Flash model series, interact with them. So you can take pictures, ask for changes, and then also importantly, generate API keys. So this is really intended to be a one-stop shop for anything that you might need as you're getting started with, experimenting with different models, trying out different configurations. You can create API keys and use them for free, or you can connect them to a cloud project. And the $300 getting started Google Cloud credits can apply towards your API generation, or you could just kind of use the free tier that's available just with your Gmail account, and get started with Gemma models, but also Gemini and things like Nano Banana via the API. If you've never used our build feature either, if you've tried out something like v0.dev or Lovable, it's very similar. You can describe an idea that you would like to have created as an app. So something to the effect of, create an app that uses Nano Banana to take a picture with the webcam and like transform the user in some way. Or you can just click "I'm feeling lucky" and it gives you an idea for an app that you can get started with right away and start building. You can also ask for things like pointers to connections with MCP servers. And those are all kind of able to get generated via the code and build, even though you might have to hook up some of that infrastructure yourself. The Gemini APIs are fully compatible with MCP. So we have docs with our friends over at FastMCP, as well as sort of Python and JavaScript documentation for how you might interact with the Gemini APIs and MCP servers, both local and remote. And then also kind of a breakdown of the supported models and what their kind of capabilities with MCP servers might be. You can also hook in MCP servers pretty simply with the Gemini CLI. If you've never used it before, it feels very similar to Claude Code, but you can just kind of give commands via your terminal, ask for apps to be built or automations to be done. And all of this works with any MCP servers that you've specified to be used with the Gemini CLI tool. And finally, since I see many of our great friends from Hugging Face, the Gemini APIs and all of these tools are able to be run, of course, within Colab, which also has just implemented Gradio support. And you can deploy apps via Cloud Run and Colab and have Gradio as kind of the primary interface to view them all. But if you're going to remember one thing, I would strongly recommend going to AI Studio, experimenting with all of the different features that are available there, generating API keys, and using them with MCP servers as part of your projects. So thank y'all for having us. And I also believe we're offering and sponsoring some prizes. So make sure to ask the hackathon organizers about those, in addition to the many hundreds of dollars of free API credits that you get just through AI Studio.
Yeah, it's $10K for first, second, and third place in API credits. So it's very exciting. I would very cool. Thanks so much, Paige.
Thank you.
Let me bring on Justin as well from Samba Nova. Let me add your screen. Cool. Take it away, Justin.
Yeah, great. I think everyone can hear me, I guess, right? I just want to check.
Yep.
Awesome. So real quick here, I'm from Samba Nova. I'm going to just share my slides here. This is my contact information. If you're going to take a screenshot, this is probably the best place to take a screenshot. Here's my contact information. I'm a developer advocate at Samba Nova. I'm a Python developer. I'm originally from Singapore, although I live in Palo Alto right now. I'm a huge Catan fan. So if anyone's playing Catan, let me know, especially online. And I also like playing pickleball. And then that's my Twitter and LinkedIn. So let's dive right into what Samba Nova is. Essentially, we produce a chip called an RDU that powers the Samba Nova platform. And there's two key innovations that make it the best chip for AI inference. So we have a data flow architecture, which makes it a little bit more efficient than a GPU just for inference. And that inference is what makes it, that efficiency makes it do inference really, really quickly. The second is like a 3-tiered memory design that allows us to process both large models and small models at the same time within the same chip. But what that means is we actually produce server racks that actually run inference really fast. So almost up to 10 times faster than GPUs. So the level of performance is not only a speed difference, but also is an efficiency difference too. So actually more energy efficient. But that's all about that said. The best thing for me to do actually is to showcase it in an example. And I think speed really unlocks new types of applications and capabilities. And that's what I'm excited to see in the hackathon today, especially with MCP. So I'm going to dive right into our Samba Cloud platform here. And you can go ahead and check that out on sambanova.ai. If you go to sambanova.ai and then hit start building, you see our Samba Cloud where you can access all our models, our open source models running on our cloud platform through our REST API endpoint, which is OpenAI compatible, through our Python SDK. And here, what's even easier, you can actually import it into Gradio. So you can run inference on our chips in our cloud really, really fast. I'm just going to show you how fast it is. So go ahead and try this out. Go to Playground, and then you can select, I'm going to actually select another tab here where I've already gone ahead and selected DeepSeek v3.1 Terminus, which is my favorite open source model here. I'm going to say, build me a single page HTML Space Invaders game. I'm just going to put that in as a prompt down here. And you can see how fast it actually goes ahead and does the inference here. And I can't even scroll as fast as how fast the inference goes ahead and does that.
Nice.
Down there. And you can see right now there, I can't even scroll. So it's just building that inference, building that page through the open source model. It's almost done. I'm scrolling super fast. So anyone who's tried this, doing maybe in other inference providers, you see how fast this is. And we're actually hitting like almost 200 tokens per second, and then less than a second for the time to first token. And just to prove that, I'm actually just going to go ahead and copy this in here, copy it in Visual Studio Code, and then save it. And then let's just take a look and see what the output is here. Okay, good. So I got the output. Here you can see this is the Space Invaders game, test.html. And then you can see that, yeah, it's just a full-fledged HTML game. And you can run any sort of inference on that, yeah, in it down there. And then, of course, our favorite question here is like something like how many R's in strawberry. You can see how quickly then it does, it proves how many R's are in strawberry. All right, so I've got that down there. So the last thing I want to talk about was, thank you for Hugging Face for talking about inference providers. You can even choose Samba Nova as an inference provider in Hugging Face's inference, we call it an inference provider itself. So if you, let's say you're using it, want to use Samba Nova as an inference provider in the Hugging Face platform, here you can select Samba Nova there too, and then it will go through, and then of course use your Hugging Face tokens and then run it through our inference cloud. Yeah, so that's actually all I have for Samba Nova. Feel free, we're giving out $25 in credits, but if, like, say you run out of credits in this hackathon, feel free to contact me more, and then we'll easily provide you more credits. Yep, thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Justin.
Yep.
Cool. Let me bring on Felicia from Modal to explain. Do you want to share your screen instead?
Nope. Hi.
Hi.
Okay, great. Let's go with this.
Okay, great.
All
Awesome.
right. Hi, everyone. I'm Felicia. I work on developer community at Modal. I'm super excited to be sponsoring this hackathon and tell you a little bit about what we do and how you can use Modal for this hackathon.
Sweet.
Let's jump in. So yeah, we'll be talking about MCP and Modal's AI infrastructure. So what is Modal? Modal is AI infrastructure that developers love. What makes Modal really easy to get started with is it basically lets you run the code on your computer in the cloud. And with an ergonomic Python SDK, it's just like a function decorator that you wrap your code around. And with that, you can scale horizontally and execute data-intensive workloads on our custom container engine. This lets you instantly access flexible compute, GPU compute for running open source models and things like that. Next slide. So thinking specifically about building MCP with Modal, the easiest thing you can do with Modal is deploy your MCP servers and clients on Modal. But a sort of more advanced thing that you can do with Modal is think about building tools to let your agent run code. And the way you can do that is through Modal sandboxes. So Modal sandboxes let you run agentic code in the cloud without pain and do so securely. And so would be really excited to see what sort of things you build with our sandboxes and just with MCP in general. So moving to the last slide, how you can use Modal. We're super excited to be providing everyone with $250 in credits that you can redeem at modal.com/credits with this code. And if you have questions during the hackathon or want to chat, feel free to find me on the Hugging Face Discord at Felicia_Modal. I also encourage folks to join our Slack community. We'd also be really happy to chat with you there and like see the projects that you're building there. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks so much, Felicia. Thanks so much for the generous sponsorship as well. I'm sure people are gonna take advantage of it. Cool. Let me bring on Paul. and Nico from Blacksalt. Do you guys want to share your screen, or do you want me to drive? I can't hear you guys.
I think you're on mute.
I think Paul's on mute, right?
It's my usual day. It's just a normal day. Hi everyone. Really excited to be with you today. I'm going to just present you Blacksalt. So I think can I share my screen? Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Thank you. So Blacksalt is compute infrastructure for agents to run AI code. Basically, we are a CPU optimized infrastructure where most of infrastructure providers are focused on inferencing. We are focusing on providing all the tools for your AI agents. And our main tool is definitely the Sandbox. What is a Sandbox? It's like a small virtual machine which can start very quickly and be provided to your AI agents to run the code that the agent has generated in a secure way. In order to communicate between your agent and the Sandbox, you can use either a standard HTTP API or the MCP server. Since it's the first anniversary of MCP, we encourage you to definitely use the MCP interface to communicate between the Sandbox and your agents. The Sandbox with the MCP and the API gives you full access to the file system, the processes, the logs, creating and generating previews to have real-time previews of the application your agent is building. Like for inferencing, when you see the code generated, you can see your application being built in real time. Because we have optimized all infrastructure, we automatically scale your Sandbox to 0 once your agent has stopped generating anything and there is no connection. So you actually pay and use only when you are actively using the Sandbox. Otherwise, the Sandbox is just suspended, and it can resume within 25 milliseconds. Last thing is you can use us for other use cases like jobs, asynchronous jobs if you need for your AI agents, or host your agents, and of course, MCP server hosting. We don't force you to use everything, so it's just pick whatever is the most convenient for you. And honestly, we integrate with all the different great partners we have today. So we just want to provide you the best CPU infrastructure for your agent.
Freddie, can I share a little demo real quick?
Oh yeah,
sure. Off track.
Great, yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Add your screen to the stage, and I can.
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
This is a little demo, something that I tweeted yesterday real quick, just to illustrate what Paul just said. So it's going to go really, really fast. But on the left, you have, this is a sandbox. This is a Blacksalt sandbox. You're seeing the Blacksalt UI. You essentially see metrics in real time. And then on the right, I have my AI assistant. And so what I did is I used that MCP server that's embedded into every sandbox that people create. And I passed it to the assistant, right? Like on cursor. But again, you could use your own assistant to do it. So I'm asking it, what's inside the sandbox? Like what's going on inside that sandbox that I just created? So it's going to run all sorts of MCP tools on YOLO mode to get some knowledge. Okay, it's actually an Next.js application. And so that's the really cool thing that you can do with Blacksalt sandboxes is create a preview. So I'm asking it, can you create a preview server for me, please, for that Next.js application? And while it's doing so, which is essentially just running npm run dev inside of the sandbox, I'm on the left, I'm creating what is essentially a preview URL. You can create them public, private. You can set your own custom domain. This exposes a port. Okay, the preview is server started. I'm opening the URL that I created on Blacksalt. There I have it. Let's update it. I forgot what I'm asking it. No, yeah. Can you create a very basic website, like something real stupid, just to show what it would be for a company that sells bananas? So yeah, again, just to show how an AI agent, and again, this is, I guess, the dumbest AI agent possible, but just to show how you can, within 20 minutes, just put together an agent that interacts with the sandbox, and you'll see that the preview gets updated in real time without any blinking. And this is, I guess, what we want to see for this hackathon is people making use of those sandboxes and those. Let me pause here because then it goes on. But yeah. Agents making use of those sandboxes to preview applications, to preview widgets, really anytime an agent can run its own code, this is stuff that we want to see. Even though the final agent is not showing code to the user, if it runs code in the back, we want to see innovative use of this. So yeah, we're excited to see that during this hackathon.
Cool. Yeah, so I think you guys are sponsoring a prize as well and some API credits.
Yeah, exactly. We provide free credits to you. Have 250 when you sign up. You start, I believe, with $20, between 20 and $100, and then we add, like, generally a few hours later, we're gonna add the 250 credits for the hackathon. But usually, just what you already have when you sign up is quite sufficient just to get started. Because remember, we just charge you when your agent is actually using the sandbox to code. So it's usually much cheaper than running your full server for 4 hours while you are coding your agents. We also are providing 2,500 prize at the end for the best AI coding agents using MCPs and sandboxes. We are also hosting office hours. Next slide, Freddie, please. We are also hosting office hours both for Americas and Asia and Europe. So we try to give several options. So please feel free to join us. You can also always ask questions on our Discord. We have a Black Cell Discord where there is a link here. And of course, with the Discord, the Hugging Face Discord, we are more than happy to provide help there. So please feel free to ask any questions. And thank you, Hugging Face, and for all the partners to organize this hackathon. We are super excited to see what you are going to build.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks so much, guys. Yeah, great that you're making yourself available so much for the community. I'm sure they'll be asking lots of questions. Cool. I think let's move on to Nebius and the Token Factory, and I'll bring on Suji to explain. Do you want to share your screen, or do you want me to drive?
So yeah, let me share my screen. Can you hear me okay? Yep.
Yep. Please take it away.
All right. Great. Hello, everyone. Happy to be here. And I am Suji Maniam from Nebius. I do DevRel. Let me give you a quick overview of Nebius Token Factory, and I will show you some of the coding examples that we have. So Token Factory, just to give you an idea, Nebius is an AI cloud built specifically for AI workloads. And what we do is, you can see we control entire stack, everything from hardware all the way to the serving layer and orchestrating layer. And what's cool about this is, since we are controlling the vertical stack, this gives us pretty good control over performance, price, and reliability. And the Token Factory sits right on top of the stack, and that's what I'm going to talk about today. So Token Factory is what we call our inference and fine-tuning service. We have all the cool state-of-the-art open source models, Kimis, Coens, DeepSeeks. You can run inference on them. Also, you can take them, and also you can do the fine-tuning. So you can adapt the model for your own data and own needs. And basically, the platform gives you very straightforward access. You can do everything through a single API. And also, you can set up projects and assign users privileges. And also, we do zero data retention. What that means is, we don't capture or save your inference data. Your data is yours. Also, MCP. This is what this matters. We integrate with a lot of tools and APIs. I'll show you a couple of examples. And also, if you need support, we have great documentation and cookbook with a lot of code examples. And we also will support you on Discord. So let me go to the next one. So how do you get started? The best way to go is tokenfactory.nebius.com. And also, you can have, we have coding examples in our cookbook. And also, we have a Discord server that if you have any questions. I'm also on the hackathon Discord server. So if you have any questions about Nebius, please tag me so I get notified. And let me show you a quick demo. Actually, we are actually giving you credit, so please use the credit. It should be in your email. Yeah, right. It should be in your email. We are giving out $25 credit for everyone who's participating in the hackathon, and that should give you a lot of tokens. So to build something fun. Let me see if I can really quickly share my screen. I can look at the cookbook, if that's okay.
We can't see it right now. I think you're still showing your slides there.
All right. Can you see this now? Yeah.
I see the slides, not.
Okay. So yeah. That's fine. If you just go to the links, I'll just stay with the links. If you just go to the cookbook, basically we have a lot of examples, on building agents and MCP servers. And a lot of other integrations. So please take a look. That should give you a pretty good head start. And do sign up. And if you have any questions, do tag us on Discord, and we're happy to help you. So thank you.
Great. No, thank you so much. Cool. Well, I think that wraps us up, everyone. Thanks so much for joining. Thanks again to our sponsors and partners for sponsoring the hackathon and for walking through all the ways that you can use them in the hackathon. So yeah, just to recap, hackathon finishes November 30th. So you have plenty of time to build your agent, your MCP server. And yeah, we're all super excited to see the submissions. And yeah, we're all available for help as well throughout these 2 weeks if you need anything. So thanks so much. And yeah, we'll see you online. Goodbye, everyone.